we're going to be reading The Squirrels Who Squabbled by Rachel Bright and Jim Field. In a towering forest where summer had been, the leaves turned to gold as cold wind blew in, and as autumn arrived with the sky raging red, the sleepiest creatures got ready for bed. While up in a tree swung a flighty young squirrel who everyone knew as spontaneous Sorrel. Sorrel the squirrel, that's a good name. Now most foresty folk had seen to their needs through the plentiful months of mushrooms and seeds. They built up their stores so they'd all be well fed through the frosting of winter that glittered ahead. I wonder what's going to happen next. But Sorrel, he lived in the now and the here. He'd adventured and partied his way through the year. So his cupboard was empty, his hollow was bare. He hadn't a mouthful of food anywhere. Uh-oh. What do we predict will happen? But wait, what was that? Over there, take a look. A single lone pine cone wedged in a nook. He squealed with delight, and for very good reason. For inside were the very last nuts of the season. But Sorrel wasn't alone. There were more hungry eyes. Yes, Plan-Ahead Bruce had his eyes on the prize. Though he'd gather fresh treasures of every sort, Bruce was convinced he was one pine cone short. Uh-oh. I simply must have it, he wistfully cried, as he dreamt of the fresh, juicy pine nuts inside. I wonder what's going to happen. The Squirrels Who Squabbled. What are our predictions, you guys? So as Sorrel set off on his way to the ground, Bruce, he was also last pine cone bound. They sprinted and scurried with no time to gamble. They scratched at the bark in their scampering scramble. But their panic and haste shook the tips of the spruce, and the pine cone, it trembled, and then it came loose. Oh, who's going to get it, you guys? Both squirrels gave chase at a lightning pace. This was the start of a wild, nutty race. It's mine, shouted Sorrel. No, mine, hollered Bruce. You don't stand a chance. Give up, it's no use. I'm hungry, cried Sorrel. This cone is not yours. Stay back, shouted Bruce. This cone's for my stores. It boinged over bushes and flew through the air. It beamed on the nose of a slumbering bear. It bounced over boulders, then came to a stop. It teetered and wobbled and quivered and plop. Oh no. Both squirrels followed. Oh, the water was fast. Would they learn that they needed each other at last? But each was intent on how he would win, so they didn't quite notice the bird swooping in. What do you think is going to happen next? Will they work together? Will the bird get that pine cone? Sorrel and Bruce, they watched in dismay. Oh, as their cone disappeared up, and away. Come back, shouted Sorrel. They're our nuts, exclaimed Bruce. But all hope was gone. It was simply no use. And meanwhile they drifted right up to the ledge. Greed, it was driving them. Over the edge! Sorrel and Bruce, they had taken a fall. They were paying the price for wanting it all. They'd squandered their chances to team up and share. Would their nutty young hopes simply end in despair? Let's see what happens next. Bruised and bedraggled, they swept past dry land. Cyril grabbed at a branch with a trembling hand, catching Bruce with the other. He heaved and he huffed, and he pulled him to safety with panting and puffs. They dragged themselves up with sputtering wriggles. Then Bruce looked at Cyril and, they're working together. I wonder what's going to happen. Exploded in giggles. How silly we are, he managed to mutter. How greedy I've been, he proclaimed with a sputter. We shall change from today. May the squabbling cease. We should celebrate seeing we're both in one piece. From that day and forward, they made a great pair. They would gather and found they could share. Yes, Cyril and Bruce, they knew in the end. The best thing to share is a laugh with your friend. The Squirrels Who Squabbled by Rachel Bright and Jen Field. Have you ever had a time that you squabbled with a friend? That you felt maybe that you needed that one last thing, or it wasn't the right time to share, but you realize that it's way more fun to do something with a partner, or to share a laugh with someone, or have that little moment? Draw or write about a time when you were sharing with a friend and it gave you a lot of happiness and pleasure. I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to send me an email with your drawing or your writing and a picture of you holding it, or a video telling about your time that you realized that sharing with a friend brought you a lot of happiness.